actually now look at how does Europe compare with global production financing trends. So some of you would be very familiar with this chart that we publish. Every month we update the latest version. It's there live on our website on the homepage itself. What you're seeing is you're seeing 41 months on the x-axis. So right from Jan 22 to last month, which is May of 25. And then the y-axis is the total number of projects that were commissioned, financed, or greenlit, in that particular month across three regions. So essentially, Americas, which is the blue line, the purple line is EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and then APAC, Asia Pacific, is essentially the orange line. And you can actually see that the gap is closing for sure between Americas and EMEA. And we've been observing this for some time, saying that the number of projects that typically Europe does is increasing. The number of projects that America has done, especially the US, are declining, and the gap has been closing. We'll actually see a few more instances of that in the next couple of slides. So clearly, Kunal, I think the factors that really affected and squeezed those two lines together, you can actually see that happening when the strikes happen. So you can actually see where Kunal's cursor is, which is May of 23, when the strikes typically happen.
Correct.
And that's where we kept seeing European activities, production activities still coming in.
Right.
The US definitely got affected.
The US definitely got affected. And then, 24 was interesting. 25, we are coming back up. May was, we presented a lot of that insights last time around as well. There has been an increase in brand new productions coming from US, but also European markets are super hot.
That's right. That's right. So let's actually look at May, some quick highlights. Just last month, what has happened, and then we'll actually sort of go into more European insights. So global productions for May grew 20% over April. So 20% more productions got greenlit or commissioned or financed last month than in April. April was a disaster. It was one of the lowest months in living history, living memory. So, clearly topping April was not a great feat per se. But hey, growth is growth and we'll take it.
Yes. US again was right in the mix of it. We saw a lot of English language productions really going up, and then drama and comedy were the top ones. But we saw Spanish and French right as well.
That's right. And then overall, scripted, unscripted, 77 and 23, that's the global average. And then one of the key aspects is, Netflix and Prime Video obviously were the top two in last month globally, just in terms of the sheer volume of projects that were getting financed and were getting greenlit. Sorry, just globally, I wanted to just highlight about, what are the other names in global is actually BBC, Channel 4, ZDF, and ARD, which are all European names, by the way.
Right. Yeah, clearly. America is obviously saw a big jump, as you mentioned, right? April was not as one of the biggest months. It was pretty dead around the neighborhood. So it went up.
And then, EMEA, was a 29% surge in production activity last month, and essentially led by BBC, Channel 4, ARD, ZDF, and UK TV.
Yeah. APAC, not much. I think
APAC actually did decline. So May for APAC was not very good. Japan, Korea, Australia, and India, which are the top four markets usually in Asia Pacific, they all four were sort of, May was not a great month in those markets. All right. So this is folks, this is what we were talking about, that the gap between, so US alone vis-a-vis Europe, was pretty comparable in terms of total throughput or the total amount of productions, in any quarter. I mean, Kunal, look at 21 to beginning of 22, neck and neck, pretty much.
Neck and neck. Right. And And by the way, we are tracking this. This consists of thousands of projects, right? We're tracking everything that's coming out of both these regions.
That's right. And essentially, the two big events that have dented the US's sort of competitive, production sort of throughput, right? One is when the stocks got revalued. So I
Right.
think Wall Street got a shocker. That was April of 22.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where Netflix actually sort of, refused to release their subscription numbers. They said we'll only give EBITDA numbers. All other stocks got revalued, and there was a big fall in valuations of media companies. And you can actually see productions actually went down in the US at the time. For folks who were in the thick of it, you would remember cancellations were coming in 2022, in the middle of 2022, towards the late period of that year.
Yeah.
And the second one was,
Strikes. Yeah. I mean, there's a huge impact. Europe also saw the impact of that. But ever since, right, the gap is really widening in
yeah.
terms of how much of volume comes out of both the regions.
And again, our team was debating what caused, the big dip in the US, a couple of quarters earlier.
Right.
And that looks, so the dip that you see in Q3 of 24 looks pretty secular. There was, I mean, essentially everybody declined.
Right.
And even a lot of Netflix and Prime Video projects for some of these global majors actually sort of, they're doing more stuff outside the US than
Right.
inside the US. So again, we are seeing this gap widen, and Europe seems to be like the real big hotbed of activities from a production financing perspective.
Yeah.